Hello, my name is XONEVANT. Today is Saturday, September the 13th, and this is your Daily Dose. So I have a question. I have a question for all of you guys, and it's kind of piggybacking on what we talked about yesterday in the Daily Dose, because the comment section was really good in yesterday's Daily Dose. I got into a lot of good discussions with a lot of you guys, and some words and phrases that kept getting thrown around were things like generic and same old, Destiny's not very unique. And look, this is not an attempt for me to get you guys to suddenly love Destiny. If you're not a fan of Destiny, you're not a fan of Destiny. This is not one of those things where I am trying to sway your opinion or fight for the vindication of Destiny. I do love Destiny. I think Destiny is right now a phenomenal experience for me personally. Why are we throwing these words around? Because think about it. And this is kind of what I wanted to ask you guys. What is the last game that you've played that was not generic? That was completely unique? Because it seems like people are screaming for that kind of experience, and they are saying that Destiny is not delivering that experience. But my question is, when was the last game that did deliver that kind of experience? And my guess is that there's probably a couple. I'm going to name mine here in a second. But I don't think there was a lot. I don't think that list is very long when you really think about it. I mean, you take a game like The Last of Us, right? Which most people would consider to be the best game of last generation. Arguably, right? The best game of last generation. But when you think about the gameplay mechanics of that game, we've seen it. We've seen it before. Let's just talk about some of the gameplay mechanics, right? So you have a duck and cover system. That's been seen before. You have a listen mode, which will give you the outline of enemies' bodies on the map. Seen that before. A lot of games do that, right? Now, they had a unique twist on it, but was it unique? That's the question, right? We've seen it before. You get my point? When you look at The Last of Us in a nutshell, the only thing that was unique about it was their ability to write a really good story. But everything else about that game was not necessarily so unique. I guess you could say the nuances between Joel and Ellie, during the actual play of the game might be a bit unique because, they kind of talked to each other and, she was running around and you were helping her and there was some kind of interactivity there. But we also saw that in BioShock, right? You did have that kind of component in BioShock 2. You had a NPC running around throwing you items and interacting with you. So we've kind of seen that before. And that's kind of my point. And look, I don't claim to know the answers to this. I felt kind of inspired after yesterday's video to make this video so we can nail it down. I just can't think of any. Well, I can't think of many, I should say. I'll go and tell you the last gaming experience I had that felt completely original, okay? And it was Journey. It's a $15 game, right? That's the last game that I remember. It was, what, a 2-hour game? 2.5 tops? That's the last game that I played that felt completely 100% unique. But here's what I'm driving home. If that's the last game that I played that felt like 100% unique to me as a gamer, does that also mean that I can't have fun with any game that came out between then and now? Does it only mean that I can only have fun in a game that is 100% unique? Because I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of people are, and not just with Destiny, but with a lot of games, they look at it and they go, oh, that like Call of Duty coming out at the end of the year. A lot of people saying, well, that looks just like Titanfall. I agree. But that doesn't mean that you can't have fun with that game. What makes us have this knee-jerk reaction where we say, look, that game looks a lot like this game, so I'm not going to play it, even though the game that I'm comparing it to, I really enjoyed. If a game was to come out tomorrow that resembled Journey and gave me that same experience that I got when I played Journey, I would play it. I wouldn't not play it. That doesn't make any sense to me, because if that's the game that I feel like really took me on that quote-unquote 100% unique ride, why wouldn't I want to go on that ride again? Now, it may not be as unique as the first time I went on that ride, but when you think about gaming history, it's all repetitive. we are playing, when you think about what's happening in gaming, you are playing the exact same games over and over and over and over again. There's a different story. There's one or two tweaks to a gameplay mechanic that you have seen before. Yet we still are able to enjoy games. But this knee-jerk reaction that we have, that will just totally write a game off. I don't understand that. I just don't. So I'm trying to just figure out where the connection is between this whole idea that people are against games that are generic and not unique. That's what everybody's saying about Destiny, right? It feels generic, does not feel unique. We've seen the art style before, we've seen this and that and the other. But I'm thinking in my brain, but that's the case with all games when you really think about it, or most, I should say, 99% of them. And so I would really like to hear you guys' pick for the game that you feel like is very unique in the comments. I just want this to be a good discussion. And like I said, I'm not claiming to know the answers here, but I've been thinking about this since yesterday's show, and I really just want to drill down on this topic. We throw around this word generic all the time, but when you think about it, all games have the same similar gameplay mechanics, certain tweaks that kind of make it unique to that world, but not unique, period. And I can't think of a game, like I said, the closest one I can get to is Journey, that I felt like really did something completely unique and different. See what I'm saying? And so let's hit it up in the comments. I'll see you guys there. Be good.